thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me. I got an interesting group of individuals and an interesting group of characters. So, you guys ready to start the scenario?
I'm
Armed to
game.
murder people with D6s. Let's roll.
All right.
I mean, I got dice. I don't have a problem admitting either that I've never played in the Powered by the Apocalypse system, so I'm excited.
Right on. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the system. It's very fun and it's very straightforward. Each of you wake up in a very, very nice room. You get the idea that you are not on a ground floor. There is one window in the room with a velour drapery around it, completely closed off. There is only a nightlight on an end table near the only door that you see in this suite. Where are each of you in this room when you wake up?
Knox is totally passed out, like hands open on this beautiful wide bed, and wakes up, stretches, cracks open a single eye, and is just like, okay. I know last night might have gotten a little bit weird, but Vegas has gotten a little crazy. And Knox is gonna like crawl out of the bed and probably trip over whoever would be on the floor.
I'll take the role of the man on the floor. It seems like Sam, for some reason, as he feels Knox kind of kick him as he's walking by, wakes up like, okay, I've been in this situation before. First, I need to make sure that nobody's dead.
There's also one strange thing. None of you remember anything past right now. And those two facts that you know about yourself. Nothing. How you got here, who each other are.
I'm walking out of the bathroom after splashing some water on my face, very confused, like, oh no, it happened again. But I have no idea what it is. And I come out and see the man on the floor and someone getting out of the bed.
It's it, Dominic.
And
It's it.
I'm kind of startled awake, sitting on the floor, leaning against the wall under the window, hearing people moving around, and just kind of shake myself awake and try and get my bearings a little bit and rub the sleep out of my eyes, and just make sure that I have like all of my bits and pieces and parts, and just try and figure out why I'm in this strange room that I don't remember coming into.
I'm going to go over to the window and try to gather my thoughts, what time of day it is, where are we? I open the window.
As you open the window, the sun comes into the room, the setting sun. Each of you who can see it recoil. However, you, Dominic, you take a trauma. The sunlight actually burned you.
Oh, it's that bad.
What you can see when you look out as the sun blares and harms you, you see you're in a desert landscape, and you don't see much else near you.
Are you all right, man?
I don't know what happened. That burned me. It hurts. It hurts. I say we need to figure out a plan. What do we all have in common? Who are you people, for one? My name is Dominic La Suave, and last I remember, I was working at the Bunny Ranch. I lost everything there, and they employed me, and that's my last memory of anything.
I go by Sam Franklin. Last thing I remember, I thought, was waking up in a car outside of Vegas. I mean, I guess it could have been Reno. The Bunny Ranch sounds like something I might enjoy. Do I have the right places? I don't remember. Look, it's a blur. We're in the desert. But I don't know why I'm here. Apparently, I'm here to work a job for Knox. Knox, who are you, Knox?
My handle's Knox. You can call me Mr. Sinclair if you wish. My job is a fixer. I get put in situations like this all of the time to fix a problem.
I'll do that in a minute. You were trying to talk over here, gentleman with the wallet.
Yeah, it's Bastion.
Oh,
You can call me Big Bass if you want.
Big Bass?
Yeah.
Big bass.
Yeah. I mean, since we're talking about memories, the last thing I remember is getting out of jail from roughing up a guy at a bar. But I mean, I look at the ID that's in the wallet, Is it a
Uh-huh.
picture ID?
It is.
Does it match anybody in this room?
It does not.
Sam's looking to try and see if I could pick the lock.
You definitely have experience at breaking and entering, and it takes you some time, but you're definitely
Okay.
going to be able to pop that lock. However, the rest of you, as he goes to work with what little tools that he has, you can hear a banging, a bam, bam, bam on that door back there.
I would like to investigate.
Mark a discovery. And you and Bastion are walking toward this door and you hear this bang, bang, bang. So, Dominic, I would like you to tell me about a time that you were stuck in this place and you had to get out because it was a very dangerous situation. And if you did not break through that door or push away that rubble or get out of that car in time, you wouldn't be here today.
Well, there was a time that I was courting a mistress. Little did I know she was married. So again, I have a fear of heights, but I did have to climb out onto the ledge of a 2-story building, which is about as high as I like to go. And yes, I did have to make my way through a window and scurry across a ledge to a pipe that I had to climb down.
As soon as you approached, got right in front of the door, it stopped for a moment, and then some scratches happened, and now those
I'm
stop
going to-
instantly. So when you walk into this bathroom again, it is like gold faucets and knobs, a fine porcelain toilet, marble topped, a mirror that runs the entirety of one side of the wall. Like you can see everything but your own reflection. That's about the time you hear a very loud thump from the other room near the door. Another thing you guys start to hear is very loud thoom, 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 coming from outside the room somewhere. You are freaking out, and it's not that you bust the door handle. Bust it in a way that it doesn't work. You broke it,
Awesome.
and you've broken the porcelain top as well. The door is broken. You didn't successfully open it. You don't think you did, right?
Mhm.
But it opens regardless. Sam,
Yes, sir.
you definitely heard the commotion going on
Sure
in the
did.
back. You have the door unlocked now. What are you going to do?
I should probably go find out what in the world's going on in the other room.
Cool. My assist is going to be to like grab this guy and just push him behind the drapes into the window because maybe he might burn too. Basically, I'm just picturing that La Suave gets in my way
Kind of.
while I'm actually trying to do this. And I'm just like, just stand the hell aside.
That
Kind
is
of,
totally
yes.
my ammo. I'm going to put myself in a bad spot because I already have a trauma as well.
All right. So definitely getting in the way. You two just aren't working well together at the moment, right? Nox, you got to put the guy's face across the window, and La Suave just comes in swinging, for high heaven with the remainder of the porcelain he has to get the gun, to get the knife out of the guy's hands. So you get knocked to the side. The window does get open. La Suave, you're there again in the sun.
Ah!
Um,
It burns!
the guy with the knife is able to get out of the way, and he's also going to strike you with the knife for 1 trauma. So take 2 trauma, Bastion. So you're able to spear the guy off what you see now is a lady who's bleeding out from her neck, and she seems to have a stab wound also on her leg. Are you landing in the sunlight, or are you knocking Nox to the ground to land in the sunlight?
I would probably shoot to not hit anyone into the sunlight and take it
'Kay.
myself.
The 2 other people, the one that they're fighting with the knife and the one that has been speared by Dominic, also have that same aversion and instantly just recoil from it. Although the guy that Dominic has speared on the ground, they're both in the sunlight, and he also seems to burn.
So I'd like to sneak up and take the knife out of his hand.
Sam, When you
Yes.
take the knife from the guy, it's like he comes to, and he just bolts past you.
What I was going to do is I was going to grab the lamp and use the cord to hook it around this one guy's neck and then pull him back into the light where I'm out of it. The bad spot is clearly the window. I'm totally going with the window. I'm putting him to block the sun in front of my two buddies who are yeeting themselves into the burning fire, and I'm just gonna like stand there and hold him and be like, really, really, guys?
Very nice. And he is like, let me go. God, it burns. Dominic, I'd like you to tell me about a time, because you got a discovery, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of people coming to basically kick your ass. Who were they, and why was Sam there?
It just so turns out that story I told you about having to climb out the window. Well, the gentleman, the husband, was Sam.
With that memory, and Sam now has a knife, what are you going to do?
I jump over Knox and the burning dude, and I'm gonna try to get back out into the hallway. This room is full of danger. I don't want anything to do with it anymore.
Give me Defy Danger.
I've got a 5 plus a 1 is a 6.
Man, very stressful situation, and you're not out of the room yet. Bastion, this guy is struggling against you. What do? You also are the only one that realized that the woman on the floor, she's gone.
Bleeding.
You're also feeling very hungry after all this exertion. Almost like weak if you don't have something to hunger. It's like a deep inside hunger. Like I need to be fed. I need.
Okay.
And you're looking over at the dead woman.
Mhm.
Blood. Knox. The dude you have in the cord, even if he tried to move, he's still going to be in the sunlight, and he just hits the floor and is like, and just starts sort of shaking and twitching until he stops moving, and he looks burnt and unhealthy.
Well, I'm gonna drag him back to me and snap his neck to make sure I do the double tap.
You feel the familiar crack. Sam.
Okay, this is clearly escalated. Someone's dead, and a lot of people are scared of the sun.
Yeah.
Bastion or Knox, we need to talk to one of them. Somebody's got to have answers.
All right. Drops that body and looks over at the one Bastion's fighting. Playing off what Sam said, look down at the guy that's on the ground. And I'm like, if you talk to us, I'll close these drapes.
This guy says, what are y'all doing? We're on the same team.
I'm trying to back up, and I'm looking at the door that he had opened or unlocked
Okay.
earlier. So I'm looking for an escape route.
What you do notice are two things. One, you've got 4 discoveries, so choose another advanced move. Secondly, you're sort of scooting back to the door that was unlocked by Sam, or at least you think was unlocked by Sam. You know it was
Mhm.
unlocked by Sam now, because standing in the doorway, there's like a skinny guy in a kind of disheveled suit. He's got long hair, dreads, a thin goatee. Behind him are 2 big dudes in turtlenecks and black slacks. There's a weird thing about the skinny dude. I mean, he's much shorter than the other guys, and he's got a weird smile on his face. He's not wearing any shoes, but he's got a watch on that's really nice. And he's just got a smirk on his face. And they are standing in the doorway. The big guy's behind him. The door is just wide open. You all right?
No, I'm not all right. I'm freaking out. I don't know where I am. I've got burns all over my arms. There's dead people in the other room. What is going on here?
Wait, there's dead people in the other room?
Yeah, some dead chick and I don't know, some dude that burned up from the sunlight and
You two, go clean up the room. The big guys walk in. He just puts a hand up, points at the dead girl, points at the dead guy, and points at the other dude. what happened. And the other dude just like, we were hungry, and so like, we brought this chick up here, and one thing led to another. One of the big dudes just cracks his neck. The other one does the other one.
Yeah, truth be told, we opened this door. That guy laying on the ground was the one who was originally holding that knife. This guy here with the messed up face was mounted on top of that lady, who's now dead and had bled out. And we decided to break up the situation.
If any of you guys got a smoke, I think the answers in our conversation's gonna unfold in there.
So, like I said, the big guys one of them leads the guy who's still up out in front of him and just sort of keeps pushing him. He's like, what? I was like, shut up. Don't say anything. You're going to go see the boss. Oh, shit. And they head out the room. The other big guy just grabs the other dude over his shoulder, closes the door, looks at the four of you, and says, I hope we don't meet in these circumstances again. And they leave the room and shut the door to this entire suite behind them. Does
anybody even know what circumstances we're meeting under?
Apparently to get answers for why our skin's on fire and somebody was apparently eating a woman.
Well,
that's the threat of don't kill anybody else in this club. Otherwise, you have to see them.
That's a very, very good deduction. Before I answer any of your questions, and I'll answer the ones that I can, but I'm going to let you know I don't know everything happening tonight either. There are 3 things that you have to remember, okay? No harm can come to the other guests. That's number 1. 2, you can't leave the premises until you have met with the master. The last one, and this may answer some of your questions of sunlight and, I don't know, are any of you feeling hungry?
Very.
I'm starving.
Really enjoying the no reflection thing.
Yeah.
I can see with the lights off.
Yeah, good. Anybody else experiencing anything else?
Yes. I don't feel so tired anymore. And I am. I'm hungry, though. I'm like viciously hungry.
Yeah, what's the third rule?
I prefer to work for pay anyway.
Only other vampires can know what they are.
Vampire?
He reaches into his back pockets, pulls out 2 more, puts one in front of you, Knox, and one in front of you, Sam. Don't let anybody else know what you are. That's a big one. This little group of ours, we're pretty secretive. So if you have an issue and you're out of what you need in the flask, just go to the bartender. She'll refill you. All you got to do is put the flask up. No questions asked. Sound good?
This sounds fantastic, actually.
Those who prove to us that they can leave the premises alive get to. And those who don't.
What is your name, Mr. Game Master?
You can call me the Sorcerer. And he opens the door, and again, the music just pours in. And there are tinted windows and a balcony that looks out from above, down onto the courtyard and the party below. The courtyard, as you're coming down out of it, seems to have exits out of it. And, from the overhead view, you can see which way to go. But you didn't exactly see the bar from where you were on the side that you came down.
This must have been the time I met Sam. Yeah, there was a bikini contest going on. I remember it was really hot outside. It was real bright, though. It was daytime. We're out by the pool. I kind of look over at Sam. I don't know if he's looking at me or not, but I'm looking over at Sam like, wonder if he remembers this. All right, so I'm gonna take point on this, and I'm looking for a host or a hostess.
In this area, there are occasionally, not often, you see people walking around, and you see a very, very fine lady. and she has her shoes in her hand, and her hair is wet. And she's just sort of walking back from the pool.
Excuse me, miss. You look like you're having fun tonight. Where's the party around here?
You just want drinks? I can lead you to the bar. You all with him? And she winks at you.
Yeah, they're with me.
Just follow me. I'll at least take you to the bar and can point you to the lounge. It's pretty easy to get to. Could you do me a favor?
Yeah, absolutely. As I put my arm up to kind of corral her to, join us.
And she gets real close and kind of, leans into you also. And you can feel her lips on your ear. But she says very softly to you, I need you to take this to the mistress. So she puts something into your jacket. If you can find her and give that to her for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Tell him it's from Kristen. And as you come out of the atrium and garden area, there are some stairs. There's like a little open area with clearly marked restrooms. And there's a door that swings in and out of what seems to be a kitchen. Then to your right is the bar area, and it is slammed. As the area opens up, there's just more people, and the music gets louder. You can barely see a bartender. You can tell there's someone back there, but not who they are because there's so many people coming to and leaving the bar. Who goes where to do what?
Bastard,
I'm gonna-
can you do me a favor, man?
Yeah.
You're a big guy. Can you help usher and just clear out one spot of that bar so that I could sit there and watch who comes up with a flask for a drink?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm a little more curious about this woman that is hanging on to our friend Le Suave.
You want to figure someone out?
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Okay. Her current motives are to assist you, and specifically for Le Suave to assist her with something. Do you follow her to try to find more out, or do you let your friends get whatever's going to happen by those three dudes who seem offended that they push their way past him to the front of the bar?
I will find her later.
Well, fellows at the bar, you're reaching up trying to get a drink. Knox, you're looking for the people with the flask. You see three other individuals with flasks, and they also seem to be in a small group together. They're down the bar ways, right? Like you couldn't even shout to talk to them.
Oh, that's fine. My plan is actually to sit here at the bar for a while, and like the reason I had Bastion kind of like clear out a small spot is, yeah, I'm gonna order some regular drinks and stuff like that. But Knox's plan is like nobody does anything for free, and we're clearly in debt to somebody. We don't know what that is, but I want to know who the other people are.
Bastion, you pushed your way up there. You got your buddy's room. What you see happens next is one dude pushes Sam. Sam, you're kind of pushing to somebody else who had their elbow up at the right place, and it hits you just in the face just right, and you took a trauma from that. Hey, assholes, we were in line.
Guys, like, I understand you're in line. Let me buy you a drink. Smooth out all the misunderstanding. You guys have a good night. We'll have a good night. Nobody has to go home early.
I'll assist and give Bastion some money from my stack of cash.
The guys, like, they see the money handed to Bastion, kind of look around, put their hands up.
Take care of you. No problem.
All right. Sorry I pushed your friend. And he sees you kind of rubbing your nose, Sam. Dominic, you finally get the bartender's attention.
I'm gonna be like, hey, darling, I need a couple things. So my buddy's here. We need some drinks first and foremost.
Okay.
A round of Jack and Cokes for everybody. I just ordered for everybody. My friend Knox over here, he needs a pack of smokes or a fine cigar, whatever you have. I need this refilled, and I grab a napkin and a pen, and I need to find this person.
While he's doing that, when I hear him start to order drinks, I'm going to look at the three guys, go, brewskis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll walk up.
and get them some drinks too,
Yep.
because I hear what Big Bass is doing.
She takes the flask from you. Give me a moment. And just starts to go make the drinks. You were looking for somebody.
Yes, I was.
You might find luck in the lounge.
Thank you. And I hand the glasses to my comrades here, my new comrades, and toast. Come on, gentlemen, to a good night and new adventures.
Next, I'm gonna whisper to Basher real quick and just be like, "Hey, I'm staying here. I'll find you in a lounge in like 15."
Sounds good. I'll walk over to those 3 dudes, slip them 100, tell them have a good night. The next 2 rounds are on me.
There's like, hey, thanks. This never had such a good time just getting angry. We're really sorry about that. And they look at you, Sam, and the one dude's like, hey, man, I am sorry.
The next time that she swings back around to order a drink, hey, listen, it's common courtesy in a place like this to do a favor for your host, especially when you haven't met them yet. I was wondering, it's a pretty busy place tonight. Does our host need any favors? And I kind of like show her that I have the flask.
She sees that and goes, I'm sure that your host needs lots of favors. I wouldn't know specifically what they were, but can I give you a little bit of advice? I wouldn't do any favors for them. It might be a little more trouble than they're worth. They're not good people.
I don't have any follow-ups to that. I'm just here watching. That's an ominous end of Nox wondering which side of this equation you should be on.
I cannot thank you all enough. I hope you had a great time. We hope any of you watching had a really good time listening to it and you have a decent idea of the game. What'd you guys think?
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I
Very
loved
much.
it.
You're like a crack dealer, dude. You gave me like my first hit.
Telling
Now I'm
you.
like, I really enjoyed it, and the game is super easy to learn.
I'm glad I could be your
Yeah,
crack Hitler.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, man. It was a pleasure.
This is The Real Thing RPG. We are a game based upon Faith No More's first album, The Real Thing. I'm Jason Peercy. Jason Ward is the other co-writer, and the wonderful and awesome James Masingo, which if you see all this very nice art that's on the screen, that's all his doing. We've created this game, and we're on Kickstarter right now. We are a fully funded game, so you can find us there at The Real Thing, and if you also choose to back it, it's only going to get us closer to more awesome stretch goals, and you will definitely get what you back now.
I'm Josh with the Established Facts and the Stable podcast. I'm also with Breakfast at Anytime Improv. Check me out on YouTube or at theestablishedfacts.com.
I'm Rick Heinz. I write sarcastic things about the end of the world. I've done GM tips with Geek and Sundry, Nerdist, and all kinds of other things. Recently, the most relevant thing is going to be a guide about running Power of the Apocalypse, tying into The Real Thing RPG that I'm going to post up as a blog article this week. But you can find everything about me and all my sarcastic ramblings at rickheinzwrites.com or even on TikTok at CrankyBolt.
Well, I, of course, am Big Don. Again, the Established Facts podcast, the Stable podcast. Yeah, Josh and I are literally sitting right next to each other. Yeah, you can find us on YouTube, anywhere you can find any sort of awesome podcasts or not awesome podcasts. We're everywhere. Definitely check us out. Definitely check out The Real Thing RPG. I share the crap out of it on my Facebook and stuff like that. So no excuses.
And I am Walter Griggs, NFHC podcast. That's the Not for Human Consumption podcast. If you love good poop and fart humor, or we're video gamers, anything viral on the internet, anything we can make fun of while we're getting drunk and stupid, check us out at nfhcpodcast.com. And also, Jason will be joining me next Saturday, April 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern over at thatmetalstation.com, where we're going to get a little more in-depth, the behind-the-scenes structure of how this became such a cool game. So if you guys are interested in that, that will be live at thatmetalstation.com, 8 p.m. Eastern, April 9th, Saturday.
We can't thank you enough, all of you, for joining, and thank you, the 4 of us, for coming out to play. Thank you all very much for joining us. We hope you had a great time and enjoyed this. Take care.
See you guys.
Later.
Bye.
Deuces.